Hello, Reston piano parents. Wanted to cut this quick video for you so that you had a reference point that you can use to get the most out of the class that your child's going to be attending in the very near future here. Thank you for enrolling them. I'm super excited about the number of kids that are enrolled. This is going to be a really big deal for them. Getting piano lessons early on is the best way to get a head start in music. So really pleased with where this is headed. Okay, there's two concepts, just two, that I'm going to be focusing on in this class with students. They're pretty essential to function in a piano lesson, and they're a little extra difficult to convey virtually. So if your student is going to be enrolling in a virtual lesson, getting these things down in person in this class and with a little bit of your help over the next week or two will really set them up for success in a lesson. Once you have these things, everything else can be communicated a lot easier. So the first concept is finger numbers. We have to know which hand is which is not always a guarantee with young enough students, and we have to know which finger is which. It's easy as pie. Thumbs are ones, pointers are twos, middles are threes, rings are fours, and pinkies are fives. Ones, twos, threes, fours, fives. Okay, and with our youngest students, we're going to be running through very brief, but as fast as we can, rapid fire drills of show me your left hand number 1, show me your right hand number 4, show me your left hand number 5. They need to be able to pick these out as quick as I can. Especially when we're setting them up to play songs, we need to be able to tell them, oh, you should be using this finger number. So they got to know which one is which. That's something that's very easy to establish in a first lesson and very easy to forget by the second lesson. I've had students going for 3-4 years on the piano that I'm asking, which finger number should you be using there? And they're like, wait, finger numbers? Okay, it's one of these things that comes in and will go away many, many times, so it needs to be reinforced a lot. Which is why I'm appealing for your help in this. No matter, like, the 30-minute class that we do is going to be a great start, but then you're going to have to be doing a little bit of it at home with them as well. Literally just drilling them, asking them a couple times, random times through the day. If you remember at dinner time, hey, tell me which one your right hand number 4 is, right? If you can bring this back in their mind, the more frequently that happens, the more solid the memory will become. It will move from working memory into long-term memory, which is the essence of learning. Once it's back here, you've learned it, and we need to be able to recall it really quickly in order for a lesson to be worthwhile and efficient. So the other big thing that's much more difficult is learning which key is which on the piano. That's the other main concept that we're going to be covering. You need to be able to tell your student in a lesson, hey, you were supposed to be playing C instead of D. Your number 4 is supposed to be on D, and instead you had this finger on that note or something like that, right? That's the type of thing that we need to be able to communicate. This is true of live lessons too, but showing all of this virtually is the extra hard part. That's why the live class is, that's what it's for. So I'm going to walk you through it real quick here. And I'm going to send home some materials with the students from the class so that you have a reference point that can help you practice at home, okay? It's really quite simple. The musical alphabet has 7 letters in it, all right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we're all done. There's nothing after G. It just repeats over and over and over ad nauseum. If you have a full-sized piano or keyboard, it does begin on A. And we're going to be talking white keys only for now. Okay, we're going to leave out the black keys. We'll probably use them even in your child's early instruction, but we're going to, as we're going through the letters of the musical alphabet, we're going to skip over them for now. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 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 A, B, C. And a full-size piano will stop on C all the way up here, a little bizarrely, but there are actually good musical reasons for that I won't get into. They're irrelevant to this. For young enough students, a lot of our students are young enough that that's a lot. That's a lot to ask them. Can you run through A through? That is probably like step 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 down the line. With some of our young enough students, we're actually going to be asking them at first just to identify groups of 3 black keys and groups of 2 black keys. Hey, can you use your right hand to find all the groups of 3? Hey, can you use your left hand to find all the groups of 2? There is one stray one down here. A lot of times students will consider this to be a group of 3. Don't worry about nitpicking at that. These notes don't get used a ton anyways, so it's not a big deal. This is technically just a group of 3 that has been shaved off, okay? So if they're finding all the groups of 2, it's technically starting here, like so, okay? Finding groups of 2, finding groups of 3. That can be challenging at first, okay? That can take some time for young enough students to master and knowing which one's left and which one's right. Hey, can you do it with your number 4, go through them? Can you do it with your number 3, finger number 3 going through them? You mix and match these things a little bit, okay? For some of the older students, like maybe some of our elementaries who are doing this, the groups of 2 and 3 might be the type of thing that they get on their first and second try, and then it's not super relevant for them to do it 100 more times. So we are going to go into which notes are which. The easiest one to identify, in my opinion, visually, is D. D like dog. D always shows up in between these 2 black keys. So between every group of 2, like this one over here, this is a D. Each one of these is a D. You can hear that they sound pretty similar. So usually the first exercise that I'm going to ask students to do here is find all the Ds. And even if you don't have a full-sized piano like mine is, that's fine. There's going to be Ds on it. Just find all of the Ds on it. And then from there, I like to go forward in the alphabet. It tends to be just a little bit more intuitive for students. Once we've done all the Ds, all the Es come right next to the group of 2 black keys. E is here on the right of 2 black keys. So this was D, all of these are E's. F's come next. They are to the left of 3 black keys. Then we have G, which is on the left in the middle of 3 black keys. Find all the G's. Now, this is where it does get a little funky. There is no H. Remember, the musical alphabet is just a pattern that repeats A through G. And so now after G is A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E. So all the A's are on the right between 3 black keys. And then B's are to the right of 3 black keys. Kids are going to go a lot slower than that. It's fine. Let them think about it. Obviously, make corrections if they make big enough errors, but allow a little space for that too. You got to let them think through it and try and find the right key. And if they're one over, oops, it's this one right here. Try to set them back on track, because this pattern visually is actually not very difficult to see. There's no minimum age at which they can't understand the visual pattern. If you're saying it's to the right of 3 black keys, they're going to go cross-eyed, some of them on you. But they visually process that information very easily. To the right on the right in the middle of 3 black keys is A. They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? But if you just show them these are A's, they visually process the information no problem. Okay, and then if they know that that's where A is and they do it enough times, you'll never have to teach this again. They just know that this is where A is. And once they have that skill, okay, you can now communicate with them very, very easily to do a piano lesson. You can say, hey, your finger number 4 was supposed to be on C. Every time that they make any kind of an error, you now have all the tools that you need to communicate with them about that. So it's finger numbers. That should go first. That should be relatively easy. And then it's note names. And then you can put them together, okay? Then you can put them together. Can you put your left hand, number 5, on C? Can you put your right hand, number 3, on F? And this type of thing. All of this, if you can work on it with your students, then that makes their lessons about learning how to read music, about learning how to play songs. These first 2 steps, though, there's no skipping them. and all pianists are going to have to get them pretty solid before there's really any point in trying to go a ton further. If you're teaching a kid how to play soccer and they can't dribble at all, then you're not going to teach them how to do give and go and other plays. They need to be able to dribble the ball first, right? And they need to be able to strike the ball with some consistency before you can teach them passing drills and taking penalty shots and this type of stuff. Okay, there's a set of fundamentals that just have to happen before you can even bother playing the game. These are the fundamentals that you need before you can play this game of piano. Okay, and if you can get that little bit of extra practice in, I mean, really, there's like I said, no minimum age that students can't learn this. They can learn it. They just need to see it consistently. Okay, so I'll send home a sheet that shows you every single key, so you don't have to come back to this video and find the 20-second mark or whatever. There will be a piece of paper for you. But hopefully this video version of it goes through it in a way where you see it and are walked through it, that you'll be able to practice that much more efficiently with your kid. So any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Really looking forward to these classes. See you soon.